guys. Welcome to lecture 2. Lesson 2. Here we are going to discuss about data structures in Python. And Python, it has 4 built-in data structures, and that actually stores a collection of data. And these data structures are, one of them is a tuple, then another one is a list, another one is a dictionary, this one. So these are data types. They actually use data types, and already we have seen data types which are we have seen one of them is numbers. Under numbers we have integers and float. We have also looked at strings, and as we go by we shall also incorporate booleans. Booleans are just true or false values, then null values. One of the key things in data structures in Python, we have something what we call mutability. Mutability simply refers to whether a data structure can be modified after it has been created. Then we have another term called immutability. Mutability simply means once we have created a data, we cannot change or modify anything. Example of an immutable data structure is a tuple. So under mutable data structures, these are simply data structures that we can modify. Examples are list, set, and dictionary. So let's go straight to our lessons. So we had already actually covered lesson 1. So let's just type here lesson 2. That is, let's start our notebook. This Jupyter notebook. This is simply an IDE, an environment where we write our code. Let's give it time. Yes, actually it has opened. So let's come here, new. Under new, let's create another file and rename this file. We call it lesson 2. Lesson _2. We are discussing about data structures. Okay, under data structures, we are going to start with tuples. Going to start with tuples. So let's make this one as a markdown. Markdown commands are like commands that helps us to make notes. Yes. So a tuple is simply defined with square brackets. Not square, normal brackets. Okay, let's say we have a tuple of footballers. Let's say we have footballers. Foot_ballers is equal to, let's create our tuple. So let's have the first player. The first known player is Cristiano Ronaldo. Then another known player is Messi. Then let's say Cristiano, he normally takes jersey number 7. Let's say Messi, jersey number 25. Also, let's also incorporate some Boolean values, true, also whether false values. Okay, so let's now try and print our tuple. Say print. Let's just copy and paste. Copy, come here and paste. Let's try to see. Come here and run. Yeah, actually it has executed tuple which has a string, numbers and booleans. So let's check whether this thing is a tuple exactly. How can we know that this thing is a tuple? We just use the type function. Say type, then we pass in footballers variable. Let's check. It has actually shown us it is a tuple. So another aspect we are going to discuss is what we call indexing. Indexing of a tuple. So under indexing, let's make it as a markdown. So let's copy paste our tuple here, this one, copy and paste it in this cell, press enter. So we want to check the first index. Let's say first underscore index, and remember indexing always starts at index 0. So first index. So we shall use the index method dot index. So let's check the first index. It is being occupied by the value Ronaldo. So we pass in here Ronaldo. So let's now try and print this statement. We see print the first index. Just copy and paste this one, this variable. So let's try to run and see. Yeah, actually I have seen that the first index, that is at index 0, Ronaldo occupies the first index, and the first index always starts at 0. So let's say if we change here from Messi and we say from Ronaldo and we say Messi, we see Messi comes at index 1. So someone might ask yourself, why is it that Messi, when you count, Messi is at number 2? The key thing is that indexing always starts at 0. That is something that you have to master. So let's say you want to execute other values like like true, we want to check it. Actually is at index 4. Yeah, so that is how we normally check indexing. We have another approach of using index numbers to execute now the values. So let's copy this line here, line of code, and paste it. So we want now to let's say you want to check the third, let's say any index, or let's say third underscore index. We see what is that third index, so we shall pass in footballers. Then we shall use a angle brackets. Let's see what is that third index, and let's now print in that third index. Yes, at third index, it is being occupied by value number 25. Yeah. So we want now also to check slicing in tuples. Means slicing in tuples. So under slicing, let's now still copy our code here with values, this tuple with values, still, and paste here. So we want to execute, like let's say from index 0 up to index 4. Slicing means we just want to execute a piece of our code. So let's create a variable called sliced underscore tuple is equal to we shall just copy this one, our variable footballers. Then we want to specify to execute from index 0 up to, let's say, index 4. And remember, this indexing is this is what we call positive indexing. This is positive indexing since we are using positive values. So let's now try and print values. So we will simply call this sliced tuple and pass in here. So let's try and run and see. Yes, okay. Actually, our tuple has executed the first the first 4 values, that is Ronaldo, Messi, 7, 25. Okay, so we want actually to check concatenation in tuples. This is concatenation in tuples. Let's make it as a markdown command and run it. So concatenation just simply means you're actually trying to combine two tuples. Okay, let's still copy our code here, this one, and paste it here. So we shall create another variable called football underscore update football underscore update. So we shall simply take our footballers variable, this one, then we want actually now to add other values. Remember, in a tuple we cannot actually modify it. The only thing we can do, we can just add something on top of it, but the tuple is simply it is simply immutable. You cannot actually change anything. So we will simply just concatenate by adding another tuple. So let's say we have players like Maguire. I don't know the spelling. Okay, Okay, let's say you have another player, Hazard. And let's say another one, let's say Mbeumo. So what we do, we want actually now to print our updated value for table. So let's say print let's call this one football updated, copy and paste. So let's run and see. Yeah, actually it has actually added these values, that is Maguire, Hazard, Mbeumo, and etc. So let's also check whether tuples support duplicates or not. Let's say duplicates. Duplicates in tuples. Duplicates means if it can repeat some things when we run. So let's still copy our code, these footballers. Let's do away with this one. Let's add something like Onana. Also let's repeat Onana too. Also Onana. Also let's repeat Ronaldo. So we want now to check to print this variable of tuples, this footballers. We see whether it supports duplicate or not. So let's try and run this code. Yeah, you have seen actually tuples supports duplicates. Once we run this code, we see that Ronaldo, Messi, Onana, then Onana second time, then Ronaldo that time. Actually it simply means tuples supports duplicates. Let's also check number of items a duplicate has. So if we want to check number of items a duplicate has, we normally use the length function. Okay, let's say stack length of a tuple. Actually in programming we don't want to count things manually, so that's why we use length. So let's copy still this code here and paste here. So let's first print it. Let's say print footballers. Then we now want to know the exact number of this footballer, so we shall say print shall pass in the length function, then we pass in our footballers variable. We know how many items we have in our tuple. So let's run. Okay, you see the first line, it has executed items in a tuple, which are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then the second line of code, that is the length, it has executed the number of items, which are 5. So this marks the end of tuples. So after tuples, actually you are going to start what we call lists, another data structure. This is list. So let's make it as a markdown command. So list, actually it uses what we call square brackets. So let's create a list. Let's say fruits is equal to. So whenever you come across square brackets in Python, just know this thing is a list. So let's say our list actually has apple, it has mango, it has let's say orange, it has let's say pears. Remember, we are actually dealing with the strings here. Pears. Okay, let's try and check the type of data type we are having. Let's just simply say type, then we pass in our variable, which is fruits. Check whether it is a list or not. Yeah, actually it has executed down here. It has shown that this is a list. Okay, so we want now to concatenate our list. So let's say list concatenation. So list concatenation simply means we are just trying to combine two or more lists. So let's copy our fruits variable here. Actually, I'm lazy when it comes to typing. So, but I think the core thing is that you are getting the information. So let's try and create another variable called foods, and these foods, or let's say this one be cereals. Okay, let's say we have beans. Let's say we have maize. Let's say we have millet. So we want now to combine these two. So we shall need another list variable which will hold fruits and cereals. So we say foods is equal to. So we shall simply copy this variable fruits plus this variable cereals, variable cereals. So then we want now to execute, let's say print foods. Yeah, actually I have seen that it has combined the first list and the second list. So the first list had apple, mango, orange, pears. The second list had beans, maize, millet. So this is how we normally concatenate. Concatenation, we simply use a additional sign to concatenate our list. So let's check if we are able to copy our list. So let's use 3 hashes and say copy list. So we mark it as a markdown command. So here we shall come here and say food underscore copy is equal to we want actually now to copy this one to a new variable, whether it is possible or not. So we shall just simply say foods dot copy. We shall use the copy method. So then say print, then we call this variable. Let's try and run. You see, actually we have copied this food list to a new food underscore copy, and actually it has executed well. So another thing, you want now to check indexing in list. Indexing in a list. So let's come up here and copy this first list. Sorry, actually I'm lazy when it comes to typing. So I'm just simply reusing this code. This is the fruits with values. So let's say you want to print the first index. So we shall just say first underscore index is equal to fruits dot, we pass in the index method. So at first index we have seen we have apple. So let's try and execute the code by printing. So we shall simply call this one copy, then we come here and paste. Then let's now try to run and see. Wow, it has actually shown apple is at index 0. So always remember, indexing starts at 0. That is something you need to master. So let's now check using the values actually to get the exact index. So let's say third index. let's just copy this one and paste it here and say third underscore index is equal to is equal to fruits. So we want now to actually this variable is referencing our variable with value fruits. So we are now to check, let's say value which is at index 3. Let's say print, third index, third underscore index. So we want to check what is in third index. So third index, it is at index 2. We have actually learned about indexing. Indexing starts at 0, 1, 2. So at third index, let's check. Yes. Yeah, once we run this one, it will execute orange. I mean it is at second index. So third index, let's say 3. It is pairs. So we are also going to look at slicing in our list. Slicing in a list. So it is marked down, then run. So let's copy. Actually, I'm really lazy. I'm just reusing this code, these values, but I hope you are getting the point. That is the core thing when it comes to programming. It is all about understanding the code. So we create another variable called sliced underscore list is equal to passing fruits. Then we want now to check from index 0 up to index 2. So under here, this is where we are just simply checking this is positive indexing. So let's try and print the slice list. Oh, pronunciation, man. You have no problem. Yeah, it has executed. So here we have specified that our list should name from index 0. At index 0 we have apple up to index 2. So once it reaches here, it only executes the remaining. It will leave the orange, then it executes mango. It will only execute 2 values. So let's say at index 3 it will execute up to orange. So at index 4 it will execute the whole list. And One cool thing is that we can also do what we call negative indexing. So let's just copy the whole of this code and paste it here. So let's just play around with this code. So the only thing that we shall change it is here. So let's say we want to execute from -3 onwards. Remember, this is negative. Negative indexing starts counting from the right. That is pear, orange, mango, apple. This is negative indexing from right to left. But when it comes to positive indexing, it starts from left to right. That is apple, mango, orange. So you are now to check how it will execute. Yeah, we see it has started from orange, from pears, orange. So let's try and say negative index 1. At negative index 1, it will only execute pairs, since negative indexing will start from right towards left. So the more, let's say index 2, index -2, from pairs, oranges. So it is actually executed from right towards left side. So those are the key differences that you have to master. So let's try and check the CRUD function in our list. Let's say list modification. That is what we call, we are checking to call the CRUD function. Remember, in data structures, all data structures, they support CRUD function. CRUD function simply means you can create, you can read, you can update, you can delete. That is what we call CRUD. So markdown. So let's have a new list of animals. Let's say list underscore list of underscore animals, and this list let's say it has lion, also it has elephant, also it has rhino, okay, let's say it has eagle and many other. So let's try and first print this list. Print list of animals. List of animals. So after we shall be printing, we want now to, for us to add something on our list, we normally use the method called append. So let's paste our animals, then say animal list and say dot append. And remember, to append something on a list, it normally takes a single value. So let's say we are now to add cow. So and here now to print a new list, to print print an updated list, a list which has really been appended. So let's try and run this code. Do you see? Let's say you see adding on adding an item on a list. Okay, yes, this is now the executed code. You see here the first list, it had lion, elephant, rhino, eagle. Then the second list, we have added cow. So this one, so after executing it, you see that it has added another item called cow. This is how we normally append a value on a list. Appending means just adding a value. So let's say we have another concept of what we call extending a list. So let's just paste our list. Just copy here and paste. So we want now to extend our list. So let me just copy this one. Actually copying, it actually makes me like do code with less errors, mostly without typing. So let's say we want to extend this list. Extend, which means we want to add other new values. So we want to add another list. So let's say you want to add dog. And to add cat. And to add let's say bull. And finally let's now print our list. Say print. Let's say print animals. Print animals. So let's see what our code will show us. Yeah, we have seen here the initial list, it had lion, elephant, rhino and eagle. So after now we extended our list, also adding new items. After we extended our list, it has actually added dog, cat and bull. Okay, so let's try and you want actually to remove items from our list. Remove items from a list. So to remove items from a list, we normally simply use the pop method. So let's just copy this code here and paste it here. So we want actually to, by default, pop normally removes the last item from a list. Like let's copy this one and see. Let's say dot pop. So let's now try and execute by using the print function. So we shall call this one this list. So let's try and run this code. Okay, we see here our initial list has lion, elephant, rhino, and eagle. So once we introduce the pop method, it simply removes the last item. The last item in our list is an eagle. Once we use the pop function, method, it will remove this value, and once we run, this is the results. But let's say we want to remove a specific item from our list. That is where now we shall specify exact index. Okay, so let's copy our list once again and paste it here. Let's also copy this one, pop. So what we shall do, we shall just come here inside the pop method, and let's say we want to remove the second item. So sorry. Say print. Let's say list of animals. So we want to see the two key different things here. Yeah, we have seen at index 2, which is being rhino, someone might confuse that maybe index 2 it is elephant. No, indexing normally starts at 0. So here we have 0, 1, 2. So at index 2 we have rhino. So we wanted now to specify which index we want to remove the item. So here we have removed rhino from this specific index. Okay, so after here we are now to check to look at another new concept called membership in our list. This is membership in a list. Membership in a list. So let's select markdown. Okay, so let's say list of names is equal to okay, let's say we have brand. Let's say we have clan. Let's say we have Mercy. And maybe lastly, let's say we have Philip. Okay, so let's check whether a name exists in this list or not. So let's say let's check whether a name like Philip exists in this list or not. So we say in, so we call this list of names here, we pass in. So let's try and run and see. Gives us invalid syntax. Oh, I see where I have made a mistake. So it is in, we did not put here the space. So yeah, actually this is one cool thing about errors. It is good to make errors as a programmer. You know how to debug them. So Philip, it is in list of names. So let's try and pass in a name that is not here. Let's say Alan in list of names. So we see it has said false. Let's say not in. It is true. Not in, which means Alan is not in the list of names. Okay, let's come up again and say Philip. Is Philip not in this list? It is false. Once we say Philip not in list of names, it is false, because Philip is in the list of these names. So this is how we normally check membership. So we can check in or not in. These are the two key things you need to master when it comes to coding. Okay. Another thing we are going to, actually we can sort a list by reversing it. So let's try and sort the list. Sort the list. Mark down and run. Okay, so let's copy this one, list of names, and paste it here and say list of names, dot sort. Then we say reverse is equal to true. Reverse is equal to true. And let's now print. Now print list of names. So we see it has, once we say reverse is equal to true, which means we want to start from the last, alphabetically we want to start from the letter which is last, that is P, M, G, P. Once we say reverse is equal to false, it will start from Brian. So you have seen it starts from Brian, Glenn, Marcy. Let's try and modify here something. Sorry, let's put here this comma. So we have seen it has actually arranged our list accordingly. Even if Brian comes last, let's say Brian, it is in the middle somewhere here. Comma. So this one will just simply sort the name alphabetically. Okay, once we say true, once we say reverse true, it will start from the highest alphabet, which is P, then downwards. So this is how we normally sort things in our list. Okay, actually we are done with list now. So let's now go to something else called a set. Another data type called sets. So markdown. So a set is simply defined using curly braces. Let's say we have a list of animals. Let's say herbivores is equal to curly braces. So so let's say cow. Let's say goat. Let's say sheep. And let's say elephant. Okay, actually, once you see the curly braces, the opening and the closing, these curly braces, in Python you just simply know this is a set. So let's try and print our variable of set. So let's copy this one, herbivores, print. Then we are now to check the type also. Say print and say type herbivores. Okay, have seen here our code is telling us our set has elephant, sheep, cow, goat, and we have checked the type. Actually it has executed true, showing us that our class set is this, it is our set. So another thing, let's now check membership in a set. Let's say membership in a set. Membership in a set. So let's copy our set here and paste it here and say let's say sheep in herbivores. Let's check whether sheep exists in herbivores or not. Say print. I mean, you don't need to print, you want just to confirm. So it is true. It is true that sheep, it is in herbivores. So let's say sheep not. Let's check whether it is not in herbivores. It is executing false because sheep is in herbivores. So let's say lion. So it is true that lion is not in herbivores. So this is how we normally check membership in a set. So we want actually to do what we call a set modification also. Set modification. Set modification. So we want to add something, let's say herbivores. Let's just copy this set here and paste it here and say herbivores dot add let's say we want to add giraffe. So let's now execute by print herbivores. Let's check whether it has added or not. Yes, we see it has actually added giraffe. And so this is how we normally add items on a list. We can as well do what modify our list. Let's say to update our list, let's say herbivore, or let's just say herbs. Is equal to, let's capture these first three and remember to enclose, and we say herbs, the herbs dot update. So we want actually to update our set. So remember we pass in a new set of values. So let's say you want to update cow. Instead of cow, we are now our list to update to a bull. We want to remove cow from a bull. So let's try and print. Herbs. We see the results. Yeah, we have actually seen that our set has been updated by adding in the bull. So I don't know why it is not updating. Oh, actually let me try and modify in terms of index at index 0 and try and see. That has actually added something else. Yeah, so this is how we normally update a set. So let's try and remove something, an item from a set. We use the remove okay, instead of copying this one, there's no need, so let's say just dot remove. So in this set we want to remove, let's say sheep. Then we print herbs. Here we see Yeah, we have seen here in our updated list we have removed ship, this one, this index. We have removed ship. We see now a new set has only bull, goat, cow, but initially here we had bull, goat, sheep and cow. This is how we normally modify a set. So this is simply what we call the CRUD function. CRUD in a set markdown. Yeah. Okay, so we are actually going to look another concept of set, what we call set operations. Operations in a set. What we call set operations. Set operations. So under set operations, the first operation we have is what we call union. Union simply means it combines all the elements. Combining all the elements. So so let's say footballers. Footballers is equal to let's say our set has Ronaldo. This is our first set, has Ronaldo. Then we have Messi. Then we have Beumo. So let's say just number, just number. Let's say Cristiano occupies just number 7. Let's say Cristiano just number 23. Beumo, let's say just number 12. So we are now to execute the final results. So let's say players is equal to we pass in these footballers dot union. So we are now to combine with the jersey numbers. So say jersey underscore numbers. So let's try and print players and see the results. Let's see. Let's say just number is not defined. Oh, it is just a number, not numbers. Yeah, this is the good thing when it comes to coding. The more you code, the more experienced you'll become. You'll see how errors normally occurs. So we have seen here our new updated set. It has actually added the jersey number through union. Union means just combining all the elements from both sets. Okay, so we now want to look at what we call intersection. Intersection means combining common elements. So let's say you have footballers. This is a list of footballers underscore 1, and let's say footballers underscore 2. So let's say here we have Mbappe, we have Messi, we have Mbeumo, and we have what we call, let's say, Kimmich. So let's try and print common elements. So we say common underscore elements is equal to let's say footballers underscore 1 dot intersection. So we pass in footballers underscore 2. So this one will execute only common elements. So say print common elements. Yeah, we have seen here common elements in both lists are Mbeumo and Messi. So in the first element, in the first set, we have Ronaldo, Messi, Mbeumo. In the second set, we have Mbappe, Messi, Mbeumo, Kimmich. So common elements in both sets, we have Messi and Mbeumo. So we want now to check the difference, set difference. So we shall copy all of this code. And there we come here. And we say set difference. And paste our code here. So we say different elements, diff elements, and we also say difference. We want to check a difference. Simply means it looks at only different elements from the first set and execute. So let's say print so different elements, this variable. Let's try and see. So the only different element from set 1, it is Ronaldo, but the remaining set, which the remaining values Messi and Mbeumo, are in set number 2. Okay, so this is how we normally use difference. So then we are going to look at the last the last data type, which is dictionary. 4. This is what we call dictionary. Dictionary. So let's select markdown and run. So dictionary uses what we call it uses key and value pairs. So let's say uses key and value pairs. Uses key and value pairs. Let's say my dictionary is equal to so let's say we have first name, value, let's say Brian. So then we say age. Here we need a comma actually. So say age, say it is 27, comma. So and we say gender, let's say it is male. So then let's say location, let's say Berlin. Let's say is he in a tech commit. Let's say tech. It is true. Let's say another aspect, let's say whether married or single. Let's say married. This is false. I'm not married. So so this is how dictionary is being written. So let's try and execute this dictionary. So I simply say print my dictionary, underscore dictionary. Yeah, so this is how a dictionary normally written. So as time goes by, actually we shall venture more how to look in a dictionary and other updates that we can do in a dictionary. So thank you so much for your time, and let's wait as we shall also start lecture number 3. Thank you.